Good morning. Welcome to Nanna's Porch. This is my favorite time to sit out as I've gotten older, 67 to be exact, and I reside in an apartment complex here, southeast Georgia. Financially, it was hard to maintain a large 3-bedroom home. I really didn't need the space. And unfortunately, this is about the only time of morning it's not a whole lot going on. Apartment living is a whole different animal. It's fun when you're young. It's a nice place. It's a real nice place. But just getting used to having close neighbors, I guess. But I wanted to just do a quick introduction. I'm a mom of 4, a grandmother of 8. And I've had a personal YouTube page for a while, just where I like to upload things. And my kids are all musical. I used to be. But they sing, and I like to save those clips. And I like to save particular crime things and DIY, whatever. So I've had a personal page for a while. And in June, I was laid off from my job of 12 years, which I worked from home 3 days a week. Social Security certainly doesn't pay your bills. And due to this fine economy, I got laid off. So while trying to find something that I can do from home, I had someone suggest a second YouTube channel. I do have my degree in criminal justice, and I'm retired from corrections. And I love to write. I'm an artsy person. I've written for years, and so I plan to have a playlist and eventually go live of some of my ministry and my Bible studies and applicable, early this morning. It's only like 6 o'clock. To what's going on in the world today. I will have a playlist with interesting crime cases that either have similarities that I'd like to discuss, because there's just so much. Most of it will be missing and murder mystery, unsolved. Some of the cases that are solved, there's still a lot of similarity, even though they may be in different states. That's a huge interest to me, but I will be highlighting one playlist just for missing or unsolved, and each one will have the original poster, like, and who to contact for tips. I'd like to have one for just mental health, and I'm not saying, criminally insane type, just mental health in general. We all suffer from depression or anxiety from one time to another. We have things going on in our lives that may trigger things. We've never had mental health before, but we live in stressful times. I just keep my faith in the good Lord, and that's what gets me from going insane, I think, at a point. But I would like to just share some affirmations and offer up, like maybe information that I can find. And also, when I do eventually start going live and build a little bit of followers, I would like to have the chat. Anybody that needs to get something off their chest or has lost a loved one, such as I did in June. I had a nephew who was an addict and been to rehab, but got out and kind of messed up again. Unfortunately, it was laced heavily with fentanyl. And my young niece, he was 34. She's 33. She found him dead in the recliner when she woke up, and her 2 children, and she's pregnant. So this has been real hard to process, and I just literally hate drugs. I have a brother who's in his 50s now. I haven't seen in a long time. because from the age early 20s on, he got addicted to drugs, and he would do good and then he wouldn't, do good and then he wouldn't, and wound up he really has nowhere. He lives with a lady he's been with now for several years, but I don't see him because it got to the point of taking things from your house, and kids were uncomfortable when he's around. And so while I don't really have him over, I don't see him often, he doesn't have a way to go anyway, I do love him from afar, and I pray deeply for him and his healing. And sometimes you have to make that choice to love people from a distance. Sometimes you have to make a choice to love them but not see them at all. And it can be done. And I have a lot of materials I've gone over with that. There's someone else in my life that's a narcissist, and it was to the point I couldn't deal with that anymore. So I'm not here trying to be a Debbie Downer for any means. I would like to have a community that is just open to chat about those things when I do go live on that topic, and just have a place, a safe place that you could go. I was a social worker for 17 years for school system with the pre-K program. I have extensive background. I worked in the medical field for a while. Headed up a neurological office over in South Carolina. And then my most recent, which was law enforcement, I worked for a lawyer for a little over a year when I decided at 50 I was going back to college. So I went back at 50 and got my criminal justice. And I loved corrections. I really wanted to do investigations, but I didn't want to at that time in my life continue school for about 2 more years. So I went the route of corrections and loved it. And unfortunately, several years later, I was in a car accident that broke my back, 3 compression fractures, and I could no longer do that job. So I've just been working from home, doing billing, online billing and things for a company. And I did that for 12 years, and I said recently, the layoffs. So here we are. But I hope to have several different playlists. I love to find humor in life. It's a necessity nowadays. You gotta keep your humor. And so I want to just have a variety of things. And when I do go live eventually, we'll have different topics. And of course, I would be glad to discuss or research any topic and speak on it. I didn't want to do just true crime. There's so many out there now, and I do follow some of those. But I like to do my own research into them. And so mine will kind of be, like I said, more looking at things to me that are very similar, even though they're total opposite cases in different states. The mental health I want to do. I want to be here for anybody that may need to talk. Everybody needs a friend, and maybe give, resources that I could find if that's needed. I definitely want to do the affirmations, and then I do want to have my our ministry part, where I will share my writings, my studies that I do weekly. Well, I do them daily, but I do a major one on the weekends. Real deep dive into the Bible and into things that's going on now. And I always write those down. So I will be putting up some of those. And then we'll probably have one for just some funnies you can check out. I try not to dig real deep in politics because it's insane. Just be honest, these days it's insane. So I kind of rather just throw up some political cartoon, funny little clips and things. So may add as we go. But I just want to tell you a little bit about myself. And I am definitely someone who likes to be outside at times. I'm not a sit in the house in front of the TV type of person. I have my plants here, as you can see. I have plants all over my little patio. So I decided that's what I would name my channel. Because where else in the South do you sit and talk and maybe have coffee or sweet tea, but on Nanna's porch? Have a blessed day.